Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. Today we're tackling family finances, and we're going to be using 16 small steps you can take now to improve your finances. Wisebread as our guide.
Yeah, I love that article.
It's got some really practical tips, and I'm really eager to get into
interesting that
it.
they focus on small changes because they really can make a big impact over time.
That's so true, especially when you're working together as a family. And that's like, every little bit adds
You
up.
got it. And I think the key is really understanding why you're doing each step so it doesn't feel like just another thing on your to-do list. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Okay, so the article starts with building a solid financial foundation. Step number 1, creating a household budget.
Of course. You'd be surprised how many families just kind of wing it.
Right.
Without a clear budget, it's like, how do you even know where your money's going?
Exactly. It's like trying to build a house without a blueprint.
Exactly. A budget doesn't have to be complicated. The key is just being aware of where your money's going, so you can actually make choices about how you're spending it.
And the article suggests getting the whole family involved in the budget discussions. I like that.
I do too. It's a great way to teach kids about money. It makes it a team effort,
Exactly.
And it helps everyone kind of feel like they're part of the process. They get to have some input, which is nice.
Okay, so next up, we have calculating your net worth. Now, I think this is something a lot of people find kind of intimidating.
Can be, yeah.
But it's really just about understanding your overall financial picture.
That's right. Net worth is just a snapshot. It's not a judgment. It's just like, where are you right now financially?
Right. And you do that by adding up all your assets. So that's like your house, your car, your savings.
Right, the stuff you own.
Exactly. And then you subtract your liabilities, the stuff you owe, like your mortgage, your credit card debt.
And student loans. Don't forget about those.
Oh, yes, definitely student loans. And the article emphasizes that increasing your net worth isn't about getting rich quick.
No.
It's about making strategic decisions over time. Things like paying down your high interest debt and making smart investments.
Exactly. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It's like slow and steady wins the race.
And consistent effort.
Absolutely.
All right. Next up, Wisebread suggests reviewing your credit reports and scores.
This is so important.
Yeah, a lot of people find this kind of confusing.
They do, but your credit score affects everything.
It really does.
Think about it. Loans, interest rates, even sometimes your insurance premiums, or even renting an apartment. They'll often look at your credit score.
And getting a job even.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really your financial track record, on paper.
Right. And I think, a lot of people don't even know that you can get a free credit report from each of the 3 major credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, once a year at annualcreditreport.com.
Yeah, that's such a great resource.
Yeah. And they suggest staggering those requests. Yeah. So you're taking one every 4 months.
Oh, that's smart. It's like you're constantly monitoring, making sure everything's okay.
Now let's talk about this mysterious FICO score. This is a 3-digit number that can feel, very abstract.
I know. It's like, what does that even mean?
But it's basically summarizing your entire credit history.
Yeah. And generally, the higher your score, the better.
Better, exactly.
And you know what? 2 of the biggest things that affect your FICO score are your payment history. So, are you paying your bills on time? And how much debt you have?
So it's like this delicate balance, right?
Yeah.
Making sure you're paying your bills on time, but also not racking up too much debt.
It is. And you know what? Having a good credit score can literally save you thousands of dollars over your lifetime, just from lower interest rates.
It's incredible. It really adds up.
It does.
Okay, so we've covered budgeting, net worth, and credit. That's the foundation. Now let's move into saving and investing. Wisebread starts with setting a monthly savings amount. And this is all about automating your savings, which I love.
Automating is key. Set it and forget it.
Exactly. It takes the discipline out of it.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly. And they also suggest linking your savings goals to specific things you want to do as a family. So like a down payment on a house or a dream vacation.
Oh, that's so smart. It gives you something to work towards. It's like, okay, we're saving for Disney World. It's so much more motivating.
Exactly. It's like you can visualize it. Now, next up is retirement savings. This is something I know a lot of people put off.
Especially when you're young, you're like, retirement, that's forever away.
Yeah. But it's never too early to start, even if you can only contribute a little bit.
Exactly. Time is your best friend when it comes to saving for retirement.
It really is. And Wisebread recommends aiming to save at least 15% of your income for retirement. including any employer match you might be getting. Which, by the way, if your employer offers a match, take it. It's free money.
Oh, yeah. Don't leave money on the table. But, even if you can't hit that 15% right away, don't get discouraged. Just start somewhere.
Every little bit helps.
Right. Any amount is better than nothing.
Exactly. And then they say, increase it by 1% every year or every time you get a raise.
Little by little.
Yeah. They also mention the importance of IRAs in addition to your 401ks. So can you explain the key differences there and why families might want to consider having both?
Sure. So your 401k is usually offered through your employer. And sometimes they'll match your contributions. So like I said, free money. An IRA is something you open yourself, so you have more control over where you're investing your money.
So having both a 401k and an IRA is kind of like a 1-2 punch.
It is.
It's like a double whammy.
Yeah, diversify those retirement savings.
It's exactly. Oh, okay, now we're getting into smart money management. Wise Bread emphasizes making those minimum payments on all your debts to avoid those late fees.
Yeah, get those paid, stay in good standing.
Yeah.
And then you can start strategizing about how to pay those debts down faster.
And they mentioned the snowball and the avalanche method, which are two popular strategies for paying down debt. Can you explain those a little bit?
Yeah.
And maybe which one would be best for different personalities?
Absolutely. So the snowball method is all about momentum. You pay off your smallest debts first, no matter what the interest rate is. And that can feel really good, because you're like, yes, got that one done. So it can give you that motivation to keep going.
That's great for people who like to see those quick wins.
Exactly. And then the avalanche method, that's more about math. You focus on paying off the debts with the highest interest rates first. So you're actually saving more money in the long run.
So it depends on what your priorities are.
Exactly.
And whether you're motivated by feeling good or saving the most money possible.
Right. And honestly, any method is a good method if it gets you to pay off your debt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, now Wisebread also reminds us to review our employer benefits. This is one that's easy to overlook.
Oh, it is. We all do it.
We all do it.
Yeah.
But it can have a huge impact on your family finances.
It really can. They're offering all these things like healthcare spending accounts, commuter benefits, employee discount.
Tuition reimbursement.
Tuition reimbursed. I mean, it's free money.
Exactly.
Take advantage of it.
Take advantage of it.
Don't leave money on the table.
Okay. Next up, we have a quick one, but an important one. Checking your FDIC insurance coverage. Can you give us a quick rundown on why this matters, especially for families?
Absolutely. So basically, the FDIC, they insure deposits in banks and savings institutions up to $250,000 per depositor per insured bank.
Okay.
So it's if your bank were to fail, which, knock on wood, but, you never know.
You never know.
Your money is protected up to that amount. So especially if you have a lot of savings, maybe for a down payment on a house or college tuition.
It's just peace of mind.
Exactly.
Knowing that your money is safe.
Absolutely.
So we've covered budgeting, net worth, credit, saving, and investing.
We're on a roll.
Now let's move into the fourth category, protecting your family's future. And step one, according to Wisebread, is updating account beneficiaries.
This one's so easy to forget.
It is.
But it's so important.
It is.
Because it determines who gets your money if something happens to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure your retirement accounts, your insurance policies, everything's up to date.
Exactly. And this is especially important after a major life event, like a marriage or a divorce.
Or having a baby.
Or having a baby, yes.
It's all about peace of mind.
Absolutely.
Knowing that your loved ones will be taken care of. Okay, so now the article encourages us to think about our need for life insurance. This can feel kind of overwhelming for some people.
It can. It's a big topic.
It is. But at the end of the day, it's about providing that financial security for your loved ones if something were to happen to you.
Exactly. It helps to cover outstanding debts, future expenses, even replace lost income. So your family isn't left with a huge financial burden on top of everything else.
And that's what it comes down to, peace of mind.
It is. It's about giving your family that safety net.
Exactly.
So they can grieve and heal without having to worry about money.
Exactly. And how much life insurance you need really depends on your specific situation.
It does.
Your income, your debts, how many dependents you have. You'll want to talk to a financial advisor to figure out what's right for you.
Yeah. Get some expert advice.
All right. And finally, Wisebread highlights the importance of checking those Social Security statements.
This is another one people put off.
We do. It's oh, Social Security, I'm not even thinking about that yet. But it's important to have a clear understanding of your potential benefits for retirement planning.
Absolutely. And you can actually create an online account at ssa.gov and you can see your work history, estimate your potential
I
benefits.
didn't know that.
Yeah, it's so helpful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you can also make sure like your work history is accurate.
Yes, because that can affect your benefits.
That's a good point. So that's 4 key categories down: building foundation, saving and investing, smart money management, and protecting your family's future.
Wow. We've covered a lot.
We've done it.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yep.
And now we're on to the last category. Wisebread talks about actionable steps for success.
All right, bring it on. Let's make this happen.
So they start with a really simple but powerful idea: set one financial goal to achieve by the end of the year.
Okay, I like that focus.
Yeah, just one. Instead of trying to do everything at once.
Right, because that can feel overwhelming.
Yeah, totally.
So you pick one thing.
Exactly. Could be anything. Pay off a credit card, save a certain amount of money, or even just starting to invest.
Just start.
Yeah, and make it a SMART goal.
So important.
Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
I love SMART goals.
Me too. They really work.
Yeah, you break it down into smaller steps, and you actually get that feeling of accomplishment.
Yeah, you feel like you're making progress, which is so motivating.
It is.
Keeps you going.
Totally. Okay, so before we jump into that last step, taking a 1-month spending break, I wanted to touch on the emotional side of finances.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, because money can be a big source of stress
It can be.
and even conflict in families.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So how can families kind of navigate those tricky waters?
Well, I think the first step is just acknowledging that money is emotional. It's not just about numbers.
Right.
It's tied to our values, our beliefs, our sense of security.
Our sense of self-worth even.
Exactly. So when you're talking about money in a family setting, you're dealing with like a lot of different perspectives
And priorities.
and priorities. So communication is key.
So important.
Yeah, create that space where everyone feels safe to talk openly and honestly about money.
Without judgment.
Without judgment, even when it's hard.
Even when it's hard. Yeah.
And, you may not always agree,
Oh, of course not. But it's about listening to each other.
respecting each other.
Right. And trying to find solutions that work for everyone.
I love how Wisebread really emphasizes simplicity.
Yeah, they make it feel accessible.
Yeah, you don't have to be a financial expert to manage your money well.
Not at all. These are things that anyone can do.
Exactly. And I love the idea of involving kids in the process.
Me too. It's never too early to start teaching them about money.
Right.
Make it fun.
Yeah. Like, how can we make learning about finances fun and engaging for them?
Well, for younger kids, it can be as simple as like giving them an allowance
Okay.
and letting them make choices about how to spend it or save it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So they start understanding like the value of money.
Mm-hmm.
And then as they get older, you can involve them in more complex discussions.
Oh, about budgeting, yeah. Saving,
Yeah.
investing.
They can help with creating a family budget.
Yeah. Or researching different investment options.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. You can even make it a game,
I like that.
Like, see who can save the most money.
A competition.
Exactly. Make it fun.
So they don't see it as like this boring chore.
Exactly.
Okay. It's back to that last step from Wisebread taking a 1-month spending break.
Oh, this is a good one.
This is a good one. I like this challenge.
Yeah, it's like a financial cleanse.
It is.
You really see where your money's going.
And where you can cut back.
Exactly. And you can do it as a family.
A family challenge.
Yeah. See who can save the most money.
Or come up with the most creative ways to have fun without spending money.
Exactly. And then you can take that money you save and do something fun together as a family.
I love that.
Reward yourself.
It's not about deprivation.
No, it's about being mindful
Right.
and intentional with your spending.
And you know what? I think it all comes down to mindset.
Oh, absolutely.
I mentioned earlier cultivating a mindset of abundance and gratitude.
Yeah, I think that's so important.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's about appreciating what we already have, recognizing the abundance in our lives.
Even if it's not financial abundance.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just about money. It's about our relationships, our health, our experiences.
Things that truly matter.
Things that truly matter. It's about shifting our focus from what we lack to what we have.
Being grateful for it.
And being grateful for it. That's what creates that feeling of richness and meaning.
That's so powerful. And it ties in perfectly with what Wisebread is saying about simplicity,
Yeah.
finding joy in the present moment.
It does. It's all about balance,
Mhm.
being financially responsible,
But also enjoying life,
enjoying life.
not depriving ourselves
Exactly. It's about living a truly wealthy life.
financially and emotionally.
Exactly.
Love
I
that.
think that's a great way to approach family finances.
Well said. So in our final segment, we're going to wrap it all up, share some key takeaways and practical tips
That's good.
to help you and your family create that brighter financial future.
Let's do it.
All right, so we're back. And, it feels like we've covered so much ground in this deep dive into family finances.
Yeah, we really have. From budgeting to credit scores to retirement planning. You.
It's been a lot, but it's been so good.
It has.
What would you say is the biggest takeaway for you?
For me, it's that you don't need to make huge changes all at once to improve your finances. Like Wisebread really focuses on the power of small steps.
It's so true.
Yeah, like instead of feeling overwhelmed by this giant list of financial to-dos, you can just focus on building those positive habits gradually.
Exactly.
Like maybe you set up automatic savings or you slowly increase your retirement contributions. Even small things like packing your lunch a few times a week instead of eating out. It all adds up. I love that. It's about progress, not perfection. Like, you don't need to be a financial expert to make smart choices for your family.
Not at all. What about you? What resonated with you?
Well, I think for me, it was the emphasis on communication within families. Like, open and honest communication about money, even when it's tough.
Oh, yeah. Such a good point. Because let's be real, money can be a really loaded topic.
Yeah.
It can bring up a lot of emotions.
Totally.
But creating that space where everyone feels comfortable sharing their thoughts and concerns.
Without judgment.
Exactly. That's where the magic happens. That's where you can actually work together as a team to achieve your goals.
Yeah. And even if you don't always agree, it's about respecting each other's perspectives and finding those compromises.
Absolutely. Another takeaway that really stood out to me was the idea of aligning your financial goals with your family values and priorities.
Yeah.
It's not just about hitting a certain number in your bank account.
Right.
It's about figuring out what kind of life you want to create for your family. What experiences do you want to prioritize? What brings you joy and fulfillment?
It's about using your finances as a tool to design a life that feels truly rich and meaningful.
Exactly. So I guess the question is, what are some actionable steps our listeners can take to actually put these insights into practice?
Ooh, good question. Well, I think the first step is to just schedule a family money meeting. Doesn't have to be formal or intimidating, just a dedicated time to sit down together and talk about finances.
Yeah, maybe make it a fun family activity.
Right.
Like order pizza and have a relaxed conversation about your budget, your goals, any ideas you have for saving or earning extra income.
Yeah. And get the kids involved too. Even if they're young, you can start introducing those money concepts in age-appropriate ways, like talk to them about saving for a toy they want or explain what it means to earn money.
Great idea. I think my second tip would be to automate your savings.
Oh, yes. This is such a game changer.
It really is. Just set it up once and let it run in the background. It takes the guesswork and discipline out of saving.
Exactly. And then my last tip would be to find a financial accountability partner. Someone you trust who you can check in with and share your progress with. Could be a friend, a family member, or even a financial advisor. Having that support system can really help you stay motivated.
That's so true. I think we all need someone to cheer us on and keep us accountable.
Definitely. And sometimes just talking it out with someone can help you clarify your goals and come up with new ideas.
Absolutely. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today, wouldn't you say?
I'm feeling so inspired.
Me too. And a huge thank you to all our listeners for joining us on this deep dive into family finances.
Yes, thank you. Remember, financial well-being is within reach for every family.
It really is. Just start with one small step, no matter how small, and keep moving forward. So as we wrap up this episode, I want to leave you with a question. What's one action you can take today to move your family toward that brighter financial future? Think about it and take action. We'll be back next time with another deep dive into a topic that matters.